Alright, everyone, welcome back to Champions of the Fog. We are loading in for trial number 1 of Hysteric versus Night Owls, with Hysteric surviving first. It's going to be a Demogorgon on the Thompson house. I'm your host, Little Regard. Joining me today is none other than longtime friend of the broadcast, Temmie Zolt. How'd you wake up this morning?
With a big feeling of DVD in mind right now, and also a cup of coffee.
You know
How's
what?
been games for you?
I am in the same boat as coffee has been carrying me just a little bit today. And first match today was actually kind of a banger, ending in a tie in the end game. Very last second, but what's not last second is the very beginning of this game, as they do find Ace Visconti running into the back of the map. Looks like they got lied for a little bit of distance. And we're going to take the chase around the... What is this? It's just a... I guess it's just a tractor. Mini tractor.
Yeah. I mean, the really good chase away from everything of the actual working gens, too, for it, considering the corrupt intervention is in play in this match.
True.
Oh.
But it's found a totem, and that totem is gone. Still have access to a pallet, but now we're going to... Essentially, this is going to be 3 pallets down in this area of the corrupt zone. And we'll have to see how they handle this.
That is so true. We're just playing the mind game right now for it. It's just hoping that they did not cut out for that situation.
Yeah, we're not able to dodge that, and that is going to be most likely a pain res coming in onto Nancy's generator.
Yep. You guessed it right.
Yep, and it looks like Ruin was actually removed from the game. Pain res coming in on that most progressed generator, and of course we do have a little bit of agitation as that Ace was moving quite quickly towards the hook, as the survivors most likely called out here as I don't know, I feel like personally agitation is like really easy to call out. Like you're like, if a killer's dragging you somewhere, you're, oh my goodness, that was a nasty shred.
Nice. They were ready for that. Oh, looks like they're working on that portal. No, wait. Renato ran that far away from it?
Might have been a bit of overcome. No, it actually wasn't overcome. They just managed to get out of dodge, and they've actually broken off from the chase entirely, going back towards the tunnel. A lot of good tag as they get the first generator done. Demogorgon's got quite a bit of pressure, but they need it down in the next minute. Otherwise, I think Survivors are going to start pulling ahead here.
Yeah, they are. Ooh.
Oh, wait, Ace has Lucky Break.
Nice. That actually worked out in his favor. Yeah, because I was trying to see. I was like, where's the scratch marks at all? Completely with that situation.
Yeah, actually, Survivors are taking time to reset. And unless Demogorgon heard... Yeah, Demogorgon heard them. And this is likely going to be... Yeah, I don't think you get that hit. Resilience might have actually played a factor in there, as they got that vault slightly faster, but now scratch marks and blood will be returning. And you do get the shred. Ooh. Oh my goodness, that was a very close hit. No pallet here in the filler.
But there is one straight ahead.
Yeah, you got it at the eye wall. Do you make the mind game? They held W and just didn't care. Oh my goodness.
Oh, just... I mean, that's his only saving grace. If you're able to... Nice.
Oh my goodness. There are so many close call pallet stuns. This is starting to sink away from the Demogorgon. I think you have to commit to this chase. The resources, the pallets are gone back here. And so you've just got the survivor with nothing. They're kind of zoned at this point. They've got to make a little bit with nothing, especially against the Demogorgon that's tough.
Yeah.
They're going to be trying.
No. Ooh. There you go.
But that is 3 gens going down for the survivors as this happens, with Nancy 50% on their generator as well. Ace might have bought their team enough time. This is going to be a tough game for the Demogorgon now, as... don't have a lot of map pressure. That chase took a long time. There's a lot of resources down on the sides, but as long as survivors communicate and pre-run properly, I don't see that being too much of an issue for them.
No, that wouldn't be much of an issue, just considering that gen is further away from him, so him just running up there is just going to eat up more time. Yep. I would have just lost chase with Ace, to be honest, from that situation, considering that you just got 3 gens done. Ooh.
Might have been the play, but...
There's Nancy.
Instead, there's a 4 of the people onto Ace as well, but I actually don't think they're going to go for the tunnel at this point. I think you have to split the pressure and go for fresh hooks, as we see them continue to chase Nancy here.
Ooh. There you go. Oh. And that did not work, unfortunately. Firecrackers. Not a good play right there.
I think if I'm being honest, I think I would have liked to see Nancy, Ace not go for the not go for the 4 people immediately, as, you know, I think they would have liked to see them try and heal first, and then get the confirmed call out that they were going to be going back to the hook before doing the fourth people. Because I think actually you could have just healed Ace without being injured and giving yourself away as a possible free injury.
Yeah.
If they so choose. But again, actually they're just going to go for Claudette, not even finding Hanatu. They're just going for the most progressed generator, which does make sense. Another fresh pain rise, by the way, we didn't call out just then.
Oh, that's true. I mean, it is being useful right now, considering that we're almost getting to end game, and he's kind of slowing that progress down now.
That is a fair point.
But looks like Claudette's like, you know what? Let's just go all the way over here, where none of the gens that I have progress are at.
Good point, and yeah, they will end up going down. That is going to be another fresh pain res coming in. It's going to be 4th stage for this killer, and they do need to reset Hanatu and Nancy. Looks like they are going to be able to get that reset in the meantime, though.
That's
and
good.
Ace about finished with their gen, so they got a couple separate gens being worked on, but that is going to be a pain res onto Ace's gen, and they're going to actually push Ace away from it as well with the hook position. Demo might actually be swinging the pressure of the game back into their favor just a little bit.
Yeah, kind of just worked out at the end. I forgot that he had 8 Agi to bring on over closer to the gens that were completed. I was like, where is he going with that hook?
Agitation is a good perk. And looking around, not seeing anything at the moment, as we did see the reset come through fully. I think Nancy will be setting up to go back up on this generator in full view of the Demogorgon. However, not as easy to get up there.
Only if he did put a portal there, but I don't think it worked out for him to put that. Does it even allow you to do that up there?
Yeah, you can put a portal up there. It's kind of funny to think about, but yeah, you can put a portal up there.
Logic. DVD logic doesn't work out on that.
There you go. Unhook will come through. Looks like tag through the pallet. The 4th generator does go down. I believe that was from Nancy. And I imagine survivors probably got off that hook and are doubling the other one at the moment. No, that's actually not true. Only Claudette's working on it. It's only about 60%. No, Ace running in for a body block, but it's not going to be in time. I appreciate the effort. That would have actually been huge because Hanatu's the only one that hasn't been hooked yet. Would have been a great play if they could pull it up, but it's not going to be the case. We're going to see the final pain res come through. And can they stop this gen? I don't think they can.
I mean, they have... Yep. They're going to try to go in there.
They actually can, yeah.
Yeah. Going through that portal kind of just help that. Ooh. There goes Nancy taking a hit.
Looks like they're actually going to stay at this loop here, barely dodging. This is the only pallet, I think, in this area still up.
That's correct. Ooh.
They actually get the stun for Smash Hit.
Smash Hit.
And parental guidance, so they left no scratch marks, but I don't think the demo's interested. They're just going to go back, kick the gen, try and hold down the fort. But we see Claudette on a completely separate gen with Ace Visconti. And that'll be the 5th gen being completed. Yeah, they are going to commit to that. And now... I think you want to give up Ace here as they represent less stages than Claudette, but I think regardless, I think they'd be happy with a 7-stage 1K, which, Claudette's kind of being given up back here, and I imagine they'll be getting a 3 out. Unless they miss the shred, and then in which case, if they open this exit gate soon, they might actually get her to the hatch. No, she left the tile. No, there might be body blocks coming. This could be a 5-stage.
Ooh.
Yeah, Ace trying to line up for a body block. I don't know if the Ace or the Demogorgon is going to give it to him, but now they're running to the side of the map where you could potentially have body blocks come in, or body block not coming in. There's the down, but whatever hook happens here, unless the agitation is going to carry to the side of the map, they could come in for the unhook and body block the way out. Yeah, I think they have a that hook's in range with agitation. Yeah, it's going to be a little bit more difficult to get them out. They could try. They could try to get them out here, but I think in this situation, you give them the stages and not risk giving Nancy or Hanatu up, which would be additional stages.
Yeah, that's totally fair for that situation. I mean, I think that's what they're trying to decide. Nope, looks like they are just going to be heading out.
Yep, I think they're going to be saying, you know what, I think 7 stage is respectable. And, 7 stage for fresh is good. No? They're thinking about it.
Right?
They're thinking about it. They're teasing us. Yeah, it was the...
Yeah, I know. Okay.
good attempt, but that will be, yeah, that'll be a strong 7 stage for this first trial. And moving on to trial number 2 very shortly, folks. So stay tuned for that. And thank you all so much for tuning in on week number 2, round number 2. All right, everyone, welcome back to Champions of the Fog. We're locating back in, loading in, not locating in, loading in trial number 2. It is Return of the Demogorgon, this time with a, I would say this is a pretty decent win con to try to have to match. I would say this is average, or I think 7 to 8 stages is pretty average for Demogorgon. Getting the 4th fresh is huge, and we'll have to see how Hysteric is able to hold off on this. But in the meantime, Hemi, look at this corrupt split. How, like, what is this gen split?
I cannot tell you what it is because it's still hard to understand that one. Because I'm like, wait, what? How did that just happen?
Yeah, it's kind of spread out.
Yeah. Oh, looks like we did fine.
Are we able to get away too?
Looks like they are taking it further down to the next corrupt gen, which unfortunately there is another working gen in that area, and there goes the hit too with a nice shred. Oh, okay, we're dropping pallets. Okay, I mean that's fair. For it. Hopefully they don't. Yeah. Hopefully they don't use all of them. Yeah, that's true. You know, this whole tile. Ooh. Never mind.
Yeah, trying to make something out of this tile. It's a bit rough. Again, not a lot to work with, but at least they didn't get caught back in the dead zone.
Sure.
And so they are able to get out now. What's interesting here is Pain Res coming in. This killer has Iron Grasp Agitation.
So they are going to definitely take those survivors off for an adventure.
Yeah, I think they're trying to be able to, if necessary, make Basement Hook. Which, again, Basement being in the dead part of a map, as long as you don't have an exit gate spawn there, it's actually kind of a devastating setup. You see that there's one exit gate top side. If there's one bottom side, then it's unfortunate, I think. But, oh my goodness, look at how... I forgot how fast that is. Actually, both exit gates are on side of main building. So yeah, if you manage to get a survivor all the way to basement at endgame, that survivor is effectively dead.
Yeah.
First gen going down just now.
No one's coming in for that save. Okay.
I think they're just going to try and get some gens. You've got one survivor that's able to come and harass the hook and, you know, hold the killer accountable, which they actually could have rushed in here just now if they wanted to. But I think they're just going to try and set up for one. Yeah, Ace going to be running in, but they might get... No, it's going to be a hook trade, not a body block. And it's just going to be another pain rest. No, they're going to leave him slugged. They're going to go for this arena here. They're going to go for the full tunnel.
Yeah. Oh. Wait, do they have...
Lucky break.
Lucky break, yeah. I was wondering, I was like, wait, I've seen this before.
Yeah, unfortunately for this arena, they are quite loud, and so they're not able to fully hide here. Doing a really crazy job holding this mind game. We try and get as much distance as possible. They go down. Winter Edit's going to get picked up, and Cap is actually going to finish the 3rd generator here, coming in just a second.
Nice.
So Survivor's actually not in a horrible position. They got to reset. They got to get that pressure back, and most likely, unless they decide that it's worth it, this survivor is probably going to go to 2nd stage in return for additional map pressure. But I don't know if the killer actually wants to camp this. I think they just want to try and keep the gen pressure at bay, as not a 3 gen per se, but having 2 kind of middle gens and a shack gen. These are kind of a string, and you can kind of hold on to them.
Yeah.
Let's see.
As long as... Yeah, because I think they're all collected at that gen further away. Ooh.
Yeah, and interesting noise notification coming from the other side of the map. Not really sure what that was.
Probably they were working on the... No? Okay, never mind.
Yeah, you don't get notifications for that far away for a generator if you miss a skill check.
Mm-hmm.
I think that is outside the range of where you get a notification for it, so not really sure what the plan is here. Survivors are sending in Kate Denson to get this unhook. App actually halfway on a gen, and Ace also about 1/3. Have to see if Kate can get a proper hook trade here.
Ooh.
It is going to be a hook trade at the last second, but will remain slugged, which probably means that as long as this is a good chase for Zarina, Tap probably finishes their generator here as they are going to get to this pallet in time. Oh, they got stuck on the pallet. Okay.
Oh,
Oh my word, that scared me for a second for this Serena. Serena
that
almost messed this one up.
yeah, I literally thought that was just gonna be an instant down.
Demo
Uh-oh.
realizing a little bit too late that they probably shouldn't be committing to that chase. And now, can this be a quick enough pickup for a pain res? I don't think it is. Yeah, if Tap commits to this, this is not going to hit in time.
Oh,
But this
yeah.
hook's going to be further in the 3-gen that was set up. And if it is a pain res, that's going to be hitting the Jack generator. But now, if they can reset Zarina, all that tunneling pressure is for naught. Oh, no, the demo thinks that someone was down here possibly, but yeah, just doing a quick face check and not seeing anything. They need to find Zarina. Zarina already reset. This
Yeah.
game feels like it's starting to slip a little bit away from the demo here.
I mean, the only thing is just I mean, Zarina really, she's already out of that. So, we still need 2 fresh hooks left, right?
Yeah, they need 2 fresh hooks still, and they need some stages too. They needed the Survivor out of the game so they can continue the tunnel out. Or they could, find a new Survivor, tunnel them out, and then either try and go for the 8th stage or spread out the last ones. But Zarina being full healed, that game plan is kind of out.
Yeah.
However, you can camp this the 2nd stage. You've got a good central hook in your gens. It's going to be a bit difficult to get this unhooked for free. We see trying to start work on that generator. App is going to be constantly harassing this unhook to keep the Demogorgon as honest and close to it as possible. Looking at actually taking chase, wanting to maybe get a tag in. 2nd stage is secured. Oh, but great body block coming in. And actually,
nice
Demo might be in
block.
for a double tapper. How did that not... Okay, behavior. I want a refund for this killer. I feel bad for them. Tap does go down. And it looks like second one actually on Kate. I was saying, like, that feels like it should have been a sweet hit, right?
Should have.
Oh, do they finish this gen before the pain res comes in? Body block's coming in. Not in time. We saw Zarina take the body block and it wasn't in time. But no, they're checking the wrong gen. They realize that it's the wrong one. Kate's gonna take a tag. Ace not able to commit to it, and they will still salvage the gen where they didn't go to the right gen immediately. But now you need to find Ace as they represent the fresh hook here. A little bit preemptive on that.
That worked out in their favor.
Yeah, and now you got Tap and Zarina doubling up on this other gen. Crouch tech coming in, but that'll also Demogorgon getting turned around.
Wrong way, Demo. Oh, there it is. I think they catch up on this one, considering that they...
The issue, too, is, they're going to force the pick. I guarantee you Ace is going to be waiting on an exit gate. Right there, we see it. There's the gen pop. There's the hook being forced. Taking them out of basement, it does make sense. You've got Iron Grasp Agitation. You can try and get out of here, but you have... Ace is not an option anymore. I think you've got to go find Tap.
Yeah.
And you've got to kill Tap. If you kill Tap, they represent 2 stages. And Tap healed now. That's the problem. Yeah, Tap healed, and the exit is open. You can't go for Zarina. Zarina's a losing condition because it's not a fresh. Yeah, you needed the other survivor. This.
Oh.
Wow.
Yeah.
Hysteric, not quite able to pull it together there. They needed. What happened? They needed to get Tap. Oh God, everyone. Welcome back to Champions of the Fog. We're loading back in for trial number 3. It is Spirit on Wretched Shop, and a much more normal corrupt, I would say. A little bit unfortunate that it's inside the place. Do you remember? Anyway, regardless.
Okay.
Look at this chase. Look how fast they found the survivor.
Yeah, that was a pretty quick finding on that. Let's just see if they follow up on that to get that hit. And ooh.
Okay, I gotta know. Were they doing the tech? They were trying. They were trying to crouch, use Urban Evasion to get away, but it was not enough. And the Spirit, headphones cranked up to 9,000, caught what was going on, and was able to sniff them out regardless. That was a very early first hook coming in.
Mm-hmm. I was like, wait, how did you even do that? And I was like, yes. Those headphones. Those
Well,
are
you
some good
see,
headphones.
some killers are just built different, and just an insane read from the Spirit. And it's going to
Yeah.
be a very difficult game for the survivors to pull back from, as that is in such an insane early chase. It makes you think, huh, well, Corrupt Intervention was a bad perk, just because I
Yeah.
think it was up for 20 seconds, maybe 30 if you're lucky. So,
Yeah.
again, not harsh in the build. I think we all would take Corrupt no matter what in this situation, but Survivor's got a lot to work through here. And yeah, you
Yeah.
can literally just camp this the second stage. Now, granted, you can try and make them pay for it by coming in, taking 2 hits at the last second, but I don't think we're going to see that. Like, Saga's actually going to, oh my goodness, come screaming in for that unhook, actually.
Let's go.
Bold strat.
And Eruption in play, too. Just noticed that, too. Like that sloppy butcher. Are they going back to... Oh, they did get that hit.
They did, and that is going to be a second hook coming in. Both survivors desperately working on their gens to get them complete, as we do see Unbreakable coming in from the survivor that came in for that unhook. So no pressure lost on that end, just making the killer waste more time to secure second stage. Does make sense. I think that's a good trade-off for the killer, but now you're able to interrupt this generator, push them off of it, and they are going to finish one gen, but Serena's had to relocate in the meantime.
Yeah, that was the same person. Okay, I was wondering. I was like, wait, where was that survivor that was working on that gen? Oh.
Yeah, this killer has had a really good start to this game.
Mm-hmm. To be honest, I thought they did go into second phase before the unhook happened, but definitely showed me for that. Trying to find the other survivor, which is that Zarina? Yeah. Let's go. Zarina going into corner, which is just...
Missing the first hit. I imagine they'll follow this up with a face towards the hook, as, yeah, they want to pressure as much as possible. There's the unhook coming through. I don't know if there's going to be a for the people, though.
There wasn't.
Yeah, Spirit desperately coming back. I don't think Laurie had it. And now the question is...
Where is the other survivor? Oh, okay. They're going after them.
Yeah, it looks like they did find him after all. However, we see 2 different gens being worked on in the meantime. FaZe coming through. Ada running. Trying to get as much distance, but ultimately just not much you can do. They go down. There's the Eruption proccing in the back. But that is Ada dead at 4 gens remaining. Soon to be 3, and then halfway. Well, actually, Saga's gonna get pushed off of the gen. Last mine coming in, though.
With Champion of Light.
Yeah, Champion not getting much value there, specifically just because you take the full duration, but...
Yeah.
Yeah. Good read, and they will finish the second generator, but that means that most likely Zarina's going to take a tag and go down. Well, I forgot how much painful, like how much pain a 110 killer is. That took forever. Yeah, and there's the third gen going down. I would have gone back as soon as I saw that gen, because, yeah, I wouldn't have guessed this one, but I guess the killer also hasn't checked it for a while, so it just makes sense they would check it now. And now, not resetting with Saga. Actually, they might just be rotating around for the unhook. Yeah, that's what we're going to see. We're going to see a rotation for unhook here as Saga jams the gen at Shack building.
That is... Okay. Just trying to tell with the hooks how many they've had, but they've only had that one full kill.
And now Saga's going to be in chase. Immediate unhook coming onto Zarina, though. It looks like they got the call out that Spirit is heading right back to the hook. Good call out from the Saga saying they don't have a terror radius anymore, and looks like they are hot on the trail. I believe this is still Zarina. Yeah,
it is. Oh, there.
Going down over the top, and that's going to be an eruption proccing as well. I don't know how they actually finished it. Oh, I'm sorry, Decisive coming in from Zarina. You're just going straight for it, not expecting a dead hard or anything, just going straight for the down, and that is going to be enough. Not much time wasted with the Decisive. Yeah, and Saga's got to pre-leave the generator as they know that the Spirit will come back for that area.
Yeah. Do you think if they are going to be going? Yeah, no.
They don't see the survivor, though, so it's just going to apply a kick. But they will hear a Dragon's Grip scream and go back, potentially.
Hopefully, if they get that. Because I haven't seen that value go for Dragon's Grip at all.
It's intermediate. You either get knowledge that a survivor came back to the gen, or you somehow get the exposure. Or usually what the survivors do is when they call it out, they just don't go back to the gen. It's 30 seconds of regression on the generator, which is also strong.
Yeah.
Looks like they're going to be trying to proxy this down. However, I do think Ori should be able to get their gen done. No, they're rotating in for the unhook, actually. Yeah, because they're going to be committing to Saga. Good call it from the team. And they vault right over the top. That is going to be a down, which means they can leave this slug in the back. They already used Unbreakable. They can get their power back up. There's the unhook coming in. If this is a quick down onto Zarina, we might be looking at 4K too. If they are able to make this chase last, though, it is going to most likely result in one more gen getting done. No, Zarina got that found immediately. Are they gonna go for the? They're gonna go for the hook. Actually, they're not gonna go for the or the 3-man slug, which will give them time to go. Yeah,
and get the other say.
They're gonna do the gen.
No,
That's smart.
fair.
I think I appreciate this more. Does she finish before the spirit gets over here?
I think so. Just that Spirit. Oh no. Okay.
She's gonna finish it. Yeah. She'll come in.
Yeah.
Yep. 4th gen complete, and it's going to be a 4K1 for the survivors. Honestly, really good job on their part getting that generator done. It's going to be a lot easier, or not a lot easier per se, but it's going to be more manageable to try and get a result here. Obviously, Wrecking Shop isn't the best for killer. Spirit, I would actually say, could be anywhere from like this result 4K1 all the way to an 8 or 9 stage 2K.
That's true. I mean, that's definitely going to be working out.
It's not as straightforward. This map is quite tough.
Ooh. It's the only downside is trying to find that last survivor that you left on the ground.
Yeah, they do find him. I was about to say, technically, there is the off chance that if they didn't find the survivor, then suddenly you've got an issue of a fresh bleed. But that is not going to be the case. Now, the real question is, did the survivors read the rulebook and know that they can try to self-unhook in the situation just to save us casters 2 minutes on the hook? I don't think they did.
We'll find out. No.
Dang it.
Well.
Oh, well. But yes, if we are in a scenario where everyone is on hook and it's just waiting for the timer to run out, you are allowed to attempt a 4%. In the event that you somehow 4%, stay under the hook, do not move a muscle, wait for your killer to send you back to the campfire in a nice, orderly fashion. But regardless, really strong showing from the Spirit, but I gotta say the survivors did a good job coming back. Hey, there we go.
There you go.
Survivors are my goats here. Ending the game much quicker. Thank you so much for saving us a minute of dialogue and me just having to make Temmie feel awkward talking to me.
What? Never. That's never awkward.
Okay. But regardless, really. All right, everyone, welcome back to Champions of the Fog. We're looking for trial number 4. It is all up to Hysteric to try and pull out a victory here. Otherwise, Night Owls could be looking at a 2-0 sweep. All right, I always pass off the question about corrupt intervention, but I don't know. I feel like this corrupt, like, there's nothing to say about it. In fact, better yet, what is this? How do you feel about this Ace's odds here? What are you thinking?
I feel like it's gonna happen, right? Oh, never mind.
Look at that firecracker juke coming in hot.
Oh,
Totem going down.
That's not good.
You hate to see it. Totems never last long. Oh,
No,
good
they
read from the
don't.
Spirit.
Ooh,
They didn't see him
nice.
go for the vault.
It's just that timing. Oh
No.
no,
That's toxic. But wait, why? I say now Nancy's the target. Unless Nancy is wanting to be the target, which actually, you know what? FTP Decisive Strike. Yeah, Nancy might legit just want to be the target here. And I think the Spirit's like, fine, you'll be the target. I hate it, but you'll be the target. Sure, whatever.
like, well,
Have to see if
that's
they can make
fair.
use of it. Yeah,
Okay.
that's actually a really smart play from the survivors. That's a big brain move on Hysteric's part, actually. I like that play. Looking back on it, I like that play.
But they do get chased back onto the ace then? Is that what
Yeah,
it
let's say they do
looks like?
find Ace once again. But
Ooh.
yeah, now you still got the issue of you still need some gens cranking. So again, it was an early chase being found, but Servers were able to delay it a little bit, and they do have the setup they want. Great patience from the ace, not vaulting back over and winning the mind game there. Unhook coming back in, and it looks like they're not going to go for the tunnel out on... Yeah, they're not going to go for the tunnel out on Nancy, as I think they registered, like, okay, Nancy is a horrible target. And going back for ace for a fresh hook, as Nancy is still broken from the FTP.
Oh,
no!
She is. Oh. Second
She
win?
wasn't. She FTP'd to proc second wind, and now she's full healed. Oh, that's...
So that does work with it. Okay.
Yeah,
I thought it
Nancy's
did.
build might be one of my favorite builds of all time. It looks like we're spectator bugs, so hanging out. Looks like Hanatsu is going to be cleansing a totem. They got one gen done. Nancy cranking away 1/3 on another gen. Yeah, I really like that build, I'm not going to lie. I'm still kind of hung up on it.
You gonna start running that next then? Is that what we're hearing?
Oh yeah, no, I'm not running that in pubs. I'd get left on hook and just die. But
oh,
finding Hanatsu in the edge of the map here, will be taking chase, taking a tag, and I imagine they will maybe head back to... No, they're not heading back to basement just yet. Gonna be hanging on. Holding that loop sometime, but they end up actually going down regardless.
Yeah, I really thought they were going to pickle.
Nobody's going for that unhook yet, I don't think. Okay, no, Ada's going to make it to the unhook.
I think it's just with Ruin is in play right now. It's just kind of hard to be kind of getting one or the other right now.
No, that's entirely fair. Drivers are able to get the second gen as Ada taking the hit through the window. Ace heading over to possibly do an unhook trade with Hanatsu. No. INEM's coming in. They vaulted down. Distance is not going to get them back to the... Oh, man. An unhook will come through on Hanatsu in the meantime.
Nice. They do reset now. It's just up to Ada to get some heals from it, but... I don't think that's going to work out in their favor. Ooh.
I don't think so either.
Just trying to see who they're going to go against.
Not really sure. I've got some questions later on about something, but...
You don't want to say them just yet?
Yeah, Nancy going to be leading chase at the long wall. And they will take a tag. Following it up, will he be able to get this tag in time before they reach it? No, there's no pallet here.
No. Oh, the dead hard.
The dead hard, but waiting it out.
Oh.
It looks like Hanatsu's going to be working on a generator at this time. Unhook coming into the basement.
Oh.
And Ace actually does get a quick reset. I think it will make it value from the Ada. But now...
They're in for a surprise, for sure.
They're in trouble. As,
oh!
Yeah, now you're in the basement. Yeah, you're messed up here, buddy. They were expected to both get out, but that surprise is nasty. So here's my question, folks. Was Spirit too close to the unhook when Renatu came in? Because Renatu got unhooked, and that should have been the third stack, but it wasn't. And I'm not really sure why. It kind of delayed it. I'm guessing Spirit might have been too close to that unhook, but it doesn't make sense for it because they were on a different chip with someone else and taking it to the basement. So I guess we'll have to watch that one in the replay.
I thought Renatu wasn't hooked at all. Ooh.
However, it doesn't matter as, honestly, Devour Hope overperformed in this game, getting those two nasty downs. Ada was like, oh, I'll take a hit and I'll run out. Then Ace takes a hit and they run out. And it's happy scot-free. Instead, both of them going down, and it's like a panic button was hit.
Yeah. To be honest, I did not know that Hinata got hooked. I thought he was just left on the ground, and they went back for the...
Oh, was it?
Yeah,
I thought they hooked. Did they actually leave him on the ground?
Yeah.
Oh, that would explain it then. I was super confused. I was like, wait, they got unhooked. I didn't... Yeah. Okay. Now it makes more sense. But, I mean, regardless, I like... Devour Hope got such value. You got 2 more gens to do just before the tie condition. And this killer's already got you down to the 3v1, and I believe, yeah, Nancy's death hook.
Yeah.
So it's about to be
That's
a 2v1. They need some gens fast, and that ain't it, folks. We got 25-30% on Hinatu's gen. Ada, and Ruin is still up.
Yep. They got they did have Undying, which then took out Devour, which left still Ruin in play.
Yep, which honestly at that point a little too late.
A little
Hinatu's
light.
gonna be able to make this chase a little bit longer. Yeah, using the lithe, but I don't know how you get the rest of these gens done. You need. Oh, hello. Iron Game coming in from Hinatu. Okay, this is not gonna be as quick a chase as Spirit had hoped. Oh, but it's gotta be so much quicker though. Yeah, Ada's got some time to go.
Oh, nice.
But not enough, as that is going to be Hinatu being hooked. And Survivors, I am impressed by this killer coming in, and the Devour Hope play worked. That might have been one of the best Devour Hope reveals I think I've seen.
Yeah. Just that back-to-back, really hoping that they were just going to get out there scot-free.
Indeed, and that said, looking around for Ada. Ada might actually be able to sneak in for the unhook. Yeah, it looks like that will happen. But again, okay, so you snuck in for the unhook. You're off the gen. Ruin's regressing it. And you don't, like... Spirit is still objectively, I think, one of the strongest chase powers in the game, hands down.
Ooh.
Case in point.
The results were in right there. And unfortunately...
Going right back to the hook. Ada's, again, you're in that Doom loop where no one can get gen progress because they're constantly coming in for unhooks. And folks, Night Owls is going to be pulling out the win here, it looks like, barring something crazy. Like, I don't know, like a disconnect or something, but... Does Spirit still think they have Devour Hope up? Are they trying to get stacks?
Maybe? No.
Or maybe, you know what, they might just be trying to encourage the unhook so people can just, they can get the game over with.
Yeah.
Good sprint burst 99 from Ada.
Ooh. Okay.
Decent mind game coming in from Ada, but I would say maybe that's the thing. Ada's like, okay, Hinatu, let me show you how it's done. Let's go.
Right.
Running to the edge map, but Spirit not phasing. Gonna take the chase over here, maybe into the Z wall. No, they're actually heading back from the Z wall, but now Bloodlust 1 kicking in, and they will get them down at the window.
Yeah.
Second up coming in for Ada, and yeah, I think they're just closing up the game very slowly. Again, Hinatu really doesn't have much time to do a gen. Neither of these survivors have had a chance, and honestly, incredible performance coming out from Night Owls as honestly, I wasn't expecting that. Yeah, like the 4K1 with Spirit on this map is actually quite a strong result, but they brought the Devour Hope, got the Hail Mary, and
there's Hinatu.
Final chase coming in as Spirit very happy to close this game out. Really well played.
Ooh, nice.
Bit of a fancy moonwalk coming in, trying to get the spin. Not too running to the next tile over. They heard him. They heard him. Just had to wait. They do find him. And these survivors will be going back to the campfire via the entity. That'll be all there is for set number 2. Night Owls winning quite decisively in a 2-0 victory. So GG to Hysteric. Congrats to Night Owls. That is going to be the end of the match. As Mortality versus Exalted will be up next in about 45 minutes.